Hey everyone, welcome back to Mighty Natty Games, picking up where we left off from the last video with part 2 of Thorgrim Grudgebearer for new players. Apologies for the delay in the second video coming out. The job that I got at the end of the month randomly called me on Thursday of last week and were like, hey, we've got someone out sick, can you come in and do, the week from Friday to Friday? And I went, yeah, sure. So, yeah, just on the other side of that, now I've got a couple of weeks off, so I'll be making quite a bit more content before I start my new gig, and I'll try and keep up with it as best I can. I'll at least have sort of 1 or 2 uploads a week. When I first started doing this, about a month ago now, I suppose, I was not expecting to be back in regular employment sort of that quickly, but that's alright, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. So yeah, I'll just try and keep up as best I can with the content. So we're at the top of turn 5. I stopped the video after at turn 5 last time because I had a battle that went for like 45 minutes. Yeah, good chance to sort of showcase the capabilities of single units and stuff, and doing a lot with a little, which is always a good philosophy in this game. So the Silver Road's currently upgrading. We're 2 turns off being able to get to gyrocopter recruitment, so there's nothing really hugely to do. I'm just going to be saving the gold. So, just jump straight into this battle. Actually, let me just really quickly check that I don't have any other equipment that I can put on anywhere. Spotter's spyglasses, not really that good. Yeah, no, he's much better with the potion of toughness. Alright, let's go. So this will be an easy one. We're just going to take this off the Crooked Moon. We're just going to fight this manually just to keep our casualties down. Because, yeah, the auto roll really will just take stupid casualties that you don't need to. Possibly might even be able to do this with 0 casualties at all on our side. It'd be a very, very easy battle, and they don't really have anything to deal with the gyrocopter unless I sat it there and let those goblin archers just shoot it, which I'm not going to do. So, I'll just do a really quick deployment. Yep, that's fine. Here's number 1, here's number 2, here's number 3... I want to put them like that and them like that. So if you reshuffle your unit cards, like I'm doing now, and then reselect those units you just shuffled and right-click, they will redeploy into the line that you've put them. So now all those units are in the order that I want them. So I've got the Great Weapons Longbeards at the back on the left, I've got the Miners at the back on the right, I've got the 2 Grenadiers in the middle there with the Hammerers, so they provide the physical resistance buff to Thorgrim. And he's going to chill out over here because he's already got Stalk, so they won't see him until he starts shooting, and he'll be in a good position to top up the ammo of the Quarrelers, or the Gyro Bomber, or the Miners, depending on what happens. Put the Gyro Bomber right up here in the woods, just so it can get a little bit of screening as it comes in. They're going to fall right back to the board edge, where our Rune Lord is going to come in a few minutes. Yeah, minute 49. Gonna take Thorgrim and all of the melee infantry except the Grenadiers off guard mode so that they actually chase stuff down. Alright, let's go. Now I'm going to use most of these bombs just to delete archers, because they're like the only thing in this army that can really pose any sort of threat to us whatsoever. So I'll bomb them a couple of times. I'm not going to go completely ham. I don't want to waste the bomb, so I'll wait until they reform a little bit, and then I'll hit them again. And hopefully that will shatter them. Or break them, at least. Pretty close. Drop another one. Yep, cool. They can just take a hike. The other unit of archers doesn't seem to be interested in shooting us. Yep, cool. They're shattered. They're not coming back. That's what that little skull means there on the unit flag. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to press that. Means they can't rally this game, which is really helpful to us. Alright, speed this up again. You'll see me doing this more and more, just because I'm trying to get as much sort of in as I can to these videos and keep them not too much over an hour, just for these sort of 4 new player ones, just so you can sort of, if you want to play along, a few turns at a time, you can, and it's not going to be a huge investment of time, but then you also don't have to watch like 20 turns and then go and try and remember everything for yourself. Hit them again. That's a nice looking cluster over there. And I started to break up a little bit. Alright, there's the other goblins archers in retreat, so I'll just get the Gyro Bomber to stick to them for a little bit, so I can be absolutely sure they're not coming back. Alright, I'm going to change the Bomber to 4, I'm going to put him in group 3, so I've got all the characters together down here at the front end of my control groups, just to make tapping between them and using their abilities quicker and easier. So a really good thing to get your head around is using the control groups and the abilities and spell hotkeys. So on the side here, it's shift and the number, so 1 at the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It only goes around to like 6 though. You can only hotkey up to like 6. I don't know why. If you've got more than 6 abilities on a unit, so if you've got one like over here and over here, you'll actually have to manually click those, which is a bit of a pain in the bum, but oh well. Alright, I'm going to wait till these blob up a little bit more, and then I'll drop a Rune of Wrath and Ruin with the Rune Lord. I'm going to top up their ammo, because those grenades are doing us pretty well. That looks like it'll be about good, so I'll chuck that in there. The bomber can come back over here now. I really don't think those archers are going to rally, and even if they do, they're going to be too far away to get back to us before the rest of their army breaks. So the bomber can come in. Spray those night goblins with the quarrelers. I will have them chase them just for the sake of the argument. I really don't want them to rally and come back at us. But I don't want Thorgrim chasing them, that would be a waste. Get the great weapons up here and charge them. So again, just queuing orders, so I just click them here with a right click and then holding shift, right click again. So I've told them to go there, reform, and then charge. And I can always go back and mess with that, but if I don't get the chance to, they'll at least be doing something useful rather than just standing there waiting to get countercharged. Cool. We won't be able to chase down too many of these because we're slow, but let's see if we can get as many as we can get. Even though we're fighting a garrison, and like I'm pretty sure if you fight a garrison, it's not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure about this one. I know if you fight them in a city, like if it actually becomes a city battle or a minor settlement battle, you don't need to bother chasing them down. You still get like the maximum amount of experience, because I guess it's sort of implied that they've got nowhere to go, so they get trapped inside the city and they get destroyed. But when they sally out on the field like this, I've never been quite sure whether that gives you the full XP not running them down or not. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I don't want to take ages, so whatever, I'll just call it there. So yeah, as you can, 2 losses on our side. Hey! Where was camera? There's camera. Yeah, so, yeah, 169 kills on the Jar Bomber, and as you saw, I wasn't really even particularly trying that hard. Again, that's not to be like a flex on my part, it's just to show you that this game's actually not as hard as you probably first think it is. It's really, really complicated, and it's overwhelming, and you're like, oh my god, how am I supposed to keep up? And if you, especially the first time you start playing on Battle Realism mode, where you can't issue orders while the game is paused, you're like, this is hopeless, I can't do anything. But you can. It's you know, if I can do this, you guys can do this so easily. I'm absolutely, like, I'm pretty good at games like this, but you know, I certainly don't consider myself to be like the best gamer in the whole world or anything. Not even close. So if I can figure this out and pull it off, you certainly can. So yeah, actually, I might, just so we can keep up with Thorgrim, I might actually put that next point in Route Marcher just so he goes a little bit faster on the campaign trail. That would be good. Don't want to recruit anything here because all we can get is miners anyway. I will put that in just because it's cheap and for the sake of generating a little bit more oath gold, because you can never have enough of that. I'll quickly check diplomacy because dwarves are part of the Order Tide, which is like the sort of affectionate name for the conglomerate of factions that sort of serve law and order and peace, as opposed to the Disorder Tide or the Chaos Tide. I don't know, you can have pretty much anything though, like Vermin Tide when the Skaven go completely bananas, Vampire Tide when the vampire counts go absolutely ape. Don't want to upgrade either of those things because I want to save that for tier 3, I think that's what I want to do. Well, then again, Thanes would be really good. No, I need to save the money at the moment for recruiting gyrocopters when we can. I don't have heaps of money. Cool. Alright, so we'll leave that there. So, yeah, the goal is to finish wiping out Skarsnik by going up there and getting Mount Gunbad and just taking that out. And then on the way back down here, probably one of 2 things will happen. Either Gorbad Ironclaw, the Orc and Goblin guy that starts down over this way, you can't see him at the moment, either he'll declare war on us, or Tretch Craventail of the Skaven will declare war on me, and he is just down here. Whichever way it goes, doesn't really matter. I'd actually kind of prefer the Skaven to do it because they're closer and we could just sort of go, smash, and sort of get them before they get too big. But yeah, there's kind of, I guess there's benefits either way. There's Gorbad Ironclaw, so that's his territory down here. So he also borders us, but right now it would be quicker to go to Mount Silverspear on the way back from Mount Gunbad. Okay, so I don't really want to fight that army in the field necessarily, and I reckon if we attack it like that, it will probably run away, and we won't have the movement range to catch it. And I'm going to guess they've got more armies up there. Let's have a look. Okay, I can't see. So I was looking for that flag icon that means that there's an army garrisoned in there. But if I had to guess, I reckon they've got at least one other lord there recruiting. He won't have much, but I'm sure he'll have one, at least. So, given that we've beaten Skarsnik with Thorgrim, we've got a really good ambush chance through here. Well, not really good, but it's pretty good. 70% is not bad for dwarves. So, I reckon I'm going to scooch up like that. And I'm going to do the old ambush baiting trick by sticking him in front of the ambusher. I can't put him in raid or anything. I can't recruit. If you can put him in raid or recruit, or like start recruiting globally or something, you can sort of goad the enemy into attacking you. They really can't resist it. That's only got one turn to go now, so I'm going to switch that over to recruitment cost and recruitment capacity. And I'm going to recruit a lord here now. What's better? Grugny's pretty damn good, but doesn't he? What's he got? He's already got Grugny. Do I want another rune lord, or do I just want a Thane? I mean a regular lord. And Demon Slayer, yeah. Oh, hang on a sec, just going to pause the recording for 2 seconds. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to grab a regular lord. Yeah, I like expert charge defense, that's good. Alright, I'm going to grab that. And he's going to start, next turn, he's going to move right up to the line here, but so he's still in the Silver Roads territory, and then he's going to start recruiting gyrocopters. And we'll run them up to Thorgrim if we need him to take Gunbad, but we probably won't. So what's probably more likely is that he'll just sit there recruiting until Thorgrim comes back and meets him either halfway to go and fight Tretch, or Thorgrim just comes back through the Silver Road and picks up those gyros. Yeah. So it is a bit hard on the economy running like 3 lords like this so early in the game because of the supply lines, but it's definitely worth it. For the sake of being able to do stuff like this. So that was a perfect ambush bait. So this army's moved in to attack this guy, standing all by himself there like Johnny No Friends. They haven't seen him behind, and so they've walked smack into the ambush. Now, I could auto-roll this for the sake of just wiping them out, but I think that would probably leave our army in pretty bad shape. That being said, it will just completely wipe them out. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Nah, I'm gonna fight that. We're just gonna be in too bad shape otherwise. I don't want to have to sit around for a bunch of turns replenishing, and let Skarsnik get a chance to get his strength back. The downside to fighting them manually is we more than likely won't kill them down to kill every single model on the field, which probably would have happened if we'd auto-rolled the ambush. But we should be able to keep casualties to a really bare minimum. And as we saw last time that we had an ambush on this exact map, funnily enough, they can do some weird stuff. But I am pretty confident in the strength of our army now, so I'm not going to try and set up... I mean, not that I tried to set it up last time, but I'm not going to try and have the same thing happen where it turns into an absolute marathon of a battle. Let's just see if we can just school them as they come into here. Yeah, I reckon that should do nicely. Let's try that. Alright, so I'm going to put that lot there. I'm going to put that lot there. So what's going to happen is they're going to probably just run straight for this zone, and we're going to have a bunch of dwarves here ready to meet them. And hopefully we should just be able to pile them in and eradicate them with very little difficulty. And there's Thorgrim. Stupid fat throwing can't fit in. There we go. Yep, that'll do. No, no, I want you over here, dude. Just go where I tell you. There we go, thank you. And want him there. Cool. And I'll have him out here to harry them. Yep, I reckon that's good. Let's take all of that off guard mode so that it chases the stuff that I tell it to chase, or attack rather. And let's just start spraying squig herds, because they'll be one of the more difficult things to deal with if they get loose behind us. So, fan out like that to cover that flank. That can go there-ish. So the only real risk that you have in an ambush like this is that you spread your forces too thin and they sort of overwhelm you on the way out. So what we want to try and do is have like a, I guess like a catch net, so that it's not so easy for them to just run straight past us, but it's also not easy for them to get around behind us. That would be very bad. So I reckon that's pretty good. Bring them up there like that. Just switch the hammers and the miners around so that the miners aren't having to throw their grenades over the top of the hammers. That would be not great. Alright. So, gonna rely on Thorgrim here to try and get them all together for the purposes of dropping bombs on them. What's the market looking like? A nice little cluster there. Let's go. Alright, and now we get our charge on. And this is why we've taken them all off guard mode, so that if the enemy runs around them regardless, then they don't just stand there like stunned mullets, they actually stick to them. I'm gonna bomb the absolute hell out of that bit there. Just inflict mass casualties. Bit of a waste of bombs at the end there, but that's alright. I don't have time to stick around and micromanage every single bomb drop, given that they're actively trying to flee off the board. Alright, what do I want you shooting at? You can shoot at that, you can shoot at that. Why haven't I put him in a control group? Oh, silly of me. I should have pulled the Rune Lord down to the other end of the battlefield. I should have brought his reinforcements around to here. He's not going to get over here in time to do anything useful, but oh well. He was really just the bait, and I probably won't be able to sustain having 3 lords running around this early in the campaign when I start recruiting gyrocopters, so he's probably going to have to get dismissed for a little while anyway. That's alright, can always re-recruit him. Yep, you can shoot in there. Yeah, cool. So we've got them bogged down pretty well here. Some of them are fleeing off the board, as you can see, but at least we can get as much damage in as possible, so that next turn, when they've fallen back into the... Well, actually, if we damage them enough, they might not fall back into the city. They might go and sit outside it and try and recruit. But the point is, we won't have this army sitting at full strength inside Mount Gunbad, defending its walls. It would be annoying to deal with, given that we don't have any awesome siege artillery or anything yet. So nothing to blow up walls, nothing to blow down towers. You know, nothing like a grudge thrower that can throw over the walls. We've just got the one bloody gyro bomber at the moment. Oh, what's that? Dark goblins, that's alright, they can flee. Don't mind about them so much. Don't want to kill the Lord, because if I kill it, they'll just replace it for next turn, and we'll have just like another full strength Lord. And because it's only level 1, that would actually be making their army stronger. Like if it was level 10 or something and we killed it and they could only replace it with level 1, then yeah, that makes it weaker. But taking like a damage level 1 and replacing it with a full health level 1 is actually just making their army more powerful, which we definitely don't want to do. So let's see how much damage we can get done on this guy, but without actually killing him. Inflict as much damage on those fleeing ones as we can. It's not great that they're fleeing through the woods, but oh well. Don't want to kill him, just want to damage him a whole lot. Put him almost dead, so that like next battle, if he's sitting in the city, like a single crossbow volley or a good broadside from the gyro bombers will kill him. Or being in combat with one of our units for like 2 seconds. Yep, that'll do. Want him right at the end of his health bar there. Yeah, we inflicted pretty damn good casualties on them. More than half their army. Nearly 2/3. And yeah, the only thing that got damaged in our army was a couple of frontline units. That one and that one. Very disposable. wouldn't even replace it, and very replaceable. They're just there to chuck their grenades. So, yeah, that's good. Where if I'd rolled it, what would have happened is that I probably would have ended up with most of my infantry at about this level of health. Which is, yeah, not great. Given that I'm going to go and attack the city, I'm just going to take 10% replenishment. That's pretty damn good. Won't put us quite back on full health, but it'll get me close. And what are they going to do? They're going to sit there. It looks like they're sitting in the city, I think. I think that's where they went. Let's find out. Oh, that's handy. Red eye just... Oh! Yeah, so, again, I get ridiculously lucky with this stuff when I'm recording. Death Singer! Hooray! As a dwarf on turn 7. That's just... so stupid. I'll go like 10 unrecorded campaigns without saying a world epic, and then every time I'm recording it's like, here, have like 4. Like that bloody Cathay campaign. Oh my god, that's so silly. Alright, so that's Death Singer for Thorgrim Grudgebearer. That's disgusting. Yep, I don't know what to tell you. I hope you get that lucky when you're playing. I really do. That's just absurd. I love it. Alright, so he's going to move up to the border here. And recruit 3 gyrocopters. I don't think I have any spare cap for engineers. No, I don't have any spare cap for engineers. As soon as I get spare cap for engineers, I will be getting another engineer. Yeah, okay, so he went and sat in the city there. Now, I don't know if they can have another army as well, so what I might do is I might just scooch him up here. I'm sort of not in a hurry to deal with this as much. Like, I don't want him to get too strong again, but it's also not worth charging up there and taking all that on the chin for the sake of getting it like a turn or two earlier. So, what I might do is be a bit sneaky, and I might go into ambush stance and come scooching back across this line so that he's getting some replenishment. It also means that he can run the gyro bombers up to him next turn, which gyrocopters rather, up to him next turn, which would be really good. And in the meantime, I can use this guy as a goad again and see if we can get one of their armies to come down and split off from that herd, because we don't have lightning strike yet on Thorgrim, and we're not going to get it for another 3 levels. So, yeah, I don't really want to go barreling in. Like, we could probably win that if we just marched up and smashed it, but our army would be in a really bad shape afterward, and we don't really want to have to sit around for like 5-6 turns. It's better to spend 2 or 3 turns here to set him up and take him out piecemeal in a way that suits us and leaves us in good shape than it is to smash him and then have to sit there for 5 turns not being able to do anything, rebuilding our armies. Also, the way that that's helpful is that because I'm already embroiled in a war with an enemy that is not terribly much weaker, it's less likely that the AI is going to turn around and declare war on me, like some other random faction is going to turn around and declare war on me. So I'm not going to race up there and do that. Who are you at war with? Let's see, if I join your war against the Dissenter Laws of Jinshen, will you give me a trade agreement and pay me? Yes, you will. Ha 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 ha. He's not at war with anyone, but we'll be able to get relations going with him pretty soon. As soon as he declares war on somebody or someone declares war on him, we'll just offer to join that war. Nothing else going on there. Already trading with everyone that I care about except him, and he won't do it yet. Alright, so no other diplomacy to be done. Nothing I want to build there. Nothing I want to build here. Yep, just chilling. Alright, cool. Spin on. So yeah, as I said, better to spend, a turn or 2, or 3 even, sitting here and setting them up so that we can fight them on our terms and in a way that leaves us in good shape, rather than just go barreling up there and have to fight a whole bunch of stuff and come out in a shambles. So this is what I'm talking about. So they've jumped down here because they're like, ha ha ha, he's backed off, let's get him, boys. And then they've just walked straight into an underway intercept. So I'm going to fight this manually, just to keep casualties down. But if I roll that, there's no escaping from an underway intercept. You get intercepted in the underway, you're dead. So yeah, whichever way this went, this army's wiped. So I'm just going to fight it manually just to keep the casualties down, because I don't want to have to sit here for 3 turns replenishing before I attack Mount Gunbat. I'd like to sort of do it in the next turn or 2, depending on how I can, depending on how willing they are to be teased apart like this. And so far so good on that front. Okay, Underway maps. If you haven't played this game much, this is the Underway. It's a really cool place. But as you can see, all the maps are kind of long and rectangular, so it makes it very, very hard for flanking. And you generally get sort of these sorts of weird things back here. So even if I've got Vanguard units, there's no flank or rear for me to put them on. And likewise for me over here for their Vanguard units. So Dwarves are really, really powerful in the Underway, because they obviously don't have a lot of flankers and stuff anyway, so they're not really missing out. And it's a really, really good place for setting up like black powder lines and stuff like that, and shooting gun lines and whatnot, because the enemy has to come straight at you. There's no two ways about it. So we're just going to camp this back board edge here. And yeah, I'll send the gyro bombers out to annoy them enough to come over here, and then we'll just blast the hell out of them. And they won't get a look in. So what's going to be the biggest problem? I'm actually just going to shoot this thing. No, I won't. I'll get them first. Because again, once I've taken out the archers, there shouldn't really be anything left that can fight the bomber. Oh, and don't they know it? So yeah, really good thing in this game. You've seen me do it a lot, and you will have seen other players do it a lot, I guess, as well. But yeah, just anything you can do to stop the enemy rushing at you all in one massive blob is like generally always worth your time. Unless you're playing something like Khorne, in which you're the one doing the massive rushing. But even then, you'll get you get situations, especially if you're playing with the AI cheats and stuff on. You'll get situations where it's just you're gonna get your stuff badly injured if you just go tearing in there. So if you're like me and you want to keep your casualties to an absolute bare minimum wherever possible, which is kind of not really a preference, it's more of a necessity on the harder modes, but I generally preferred to play like that even when I was brand new to this and used to play on much easier modes. I don't know, I just, yeah, always like that in games like this. I prefer to keep my stuff in as good a shape as possible so I can get as much mileage out of it as possible before I have to sit still and rebuild stuff. Again, except for certain factions, like, vampire counts, getting your stuff killed, like getting like 10 units of zombies killed, great, you're going to get a grave marker and get some better units out of it. But yeah, they're definitely more of an exception than a rule. Yep, so they're just going to bounce off our infantry line, and our shooting is doing magnificently at just, ripping off their health. Thorgrim's tanking a big group out here. Now, the Master Rune of Spite, I forgot to explain that because I was too busy giggling at the fact that I got Deathsinger. So ridiculous. What the hell? Yeah, so the Master Rune of Spite gives whoever's holding it, they have like an AoE damaging effect. Yeah, an AoE damage over time. So area of effect, and it just does constant damage to stuff that's around them as long as they're... I think you have to be in melee with it. I'd have to look that up on the actual rune. Master Rune, yeah, there you go. So enabled if in melee causes damage to combatants. So as long as he's locked in melee, everything within a certain distance of him is just taking constant damage over time. Smashed him, and because we're in the Underway and we don't have any fast units, most of them are just going to run off the board, but who cares? As I said, there is no survivors from an Underway interception anyway, so they're cooked. Yeah, it's the only bad thing about running about Dwarves, really, is it's just hard to run stuff down after a battle. But you can overcome a lot of that if you're running like pure gyrocopters, which is partly what I'm going to show you how to do, because they can just fly after them and blow them up. Or if you've got lots of war machines or lots of good range shooting, if you get runesmiths that have things like the Rune of Slowness, then you can slow them down and just pick them apart as they're running away. So even things with shields and stuff take more damage if you shoot them in the back where their shield isn't. Okay, now on the same principle of I'm just going to try and keep smashing, yeah, 600 gold's not that much. Yeah, I'll take the reluctant. Just keep myself topped up as best I can, so that we can keep boogieing. But yeah, it's always worth checking that, because sometimes you'll get like 1% replenishment, and it's like, well, yeah, I'd rather have like an extra, 500 gold or something. So yeah, definitely always worth checking that. Alright. Wonder what they're doing up here. Let's go have a quick gaze with this fella. It's a bit silly using a lord like this as a scout. Usually you'd want to use a hero, but I'm expecting to have to sort of get rid of him pretty soon anyway, so if he got wiped out, it wouldn't really be that big of a deal. Alright, 3 more gyros. I reckon let's give this 1 more. Yeah, let's do this 1 more time. So, Thorgrim's going to come up to about here-ish. Yep. And then he's going to march up here. And he's going to drop those gyros into Thorgrim's army, like so. And then I'm going to leave him there like that, just to back them up and be a little bit of extra bait on the hook. And I'm going to grab this other Rune Lord back here. And he is going to recruit the next batch of gyrocopters. So as you can see, it's pretty hard on the economy, but the boost it gives you to sort of how fast you can get stuff done is definitely worth it. I might even end up going a little bit into the negatives in terms of income, but I don't care. It'll only be for a few turns. It's not going to bankrupt me, and it's going to allow me to maintain so much more momentum on the campaign trail that it's worth it. The battles that I'll be able to fight with the army that I'm now making will more than compensate for the bit of gold that I might lose while I'm building it. But yeah, you just want to be careful. Like, you definitely don't want to be bankrupting yourself. But like when I first started playing this game, I was absolutely mortally afraid of being in the negatives for income. It's like, oh no, you're negative 12 income, and I'd dismiss a unit or disband an army. I was like, this is just ridiculous. Much more cavalier about it now. It's like, well, as long as my armies aren't taking attrition from bankruptcy, I'm good. Because again, you can't fight a war with the gold that's sitting in your treasury. You need to use it to buy an army with and sustain an army with. So if you need to go a bit into the negatives and your treasury needs to take a bit of a hit, but that gets you some extra territory and some extra gold, or lets you hold on to something you've already settled, bloody worth it, mate. Alright, they did not go for it that time. I'm guessing they're probably feeling a little bit busted up after our last encounter, but I don't really want to let the grass grow into this one too much longer, because Skarsnik's already back, and I don't want him coming out here on the attack and lightning striking and getting rid of those other lords. So what's he got in there? Yeah, see, that's not a fantastic army to defend a city from a bunch of gyrocopters with, but it would be a very dangerous army to fight out on the field. So let's just carpe diem and go and knock that goblin on the head. Oh, he's got another army there. Wow, okay, wow, lucky I didn't trigger the ambush walking through that. Far out. That would have been not great. But here's a cool thing. So because I've got Thorgrim besieging the city, Skarsnik and the garrison are effectively locked off. So if I make an attack move with this guy, he will have to deal with all 3 of these characters and their armies, minus this, which is why he's just run for the hills. So let's scooch him up a little bit more, just to make sure he's included. Yep, he's going to take off as well. Yep, thought we were dealing with green skins, not chicken skins, my bad. He's not going to be able to make an attack. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So, we're all sorted there. He's going to move up here. I haven't forgotten about that battle, I'll go back and do it in a sec. Just want to get the rest of this set up first. And I also wanted to check if there was any other items we had acquired. No, nothing useful there that we can equip. No. Yeah, one of them. Where's him? He can have that. Better than nothing. Alright, yeah, same valiant defeat, but whatever. Let's go. Yeah, don't pay too much attention to the auto roll with stuff like that. It rates like the defender in a siege battle pretty highly, like pretty strong. But if you have a look at their army, they don't have a whole lot that can damage our gyros, and we have gyros that can do a whole lot of damage to them. So Yeah, we'll be fine. And Thorgrim's got goddamn Deathsinger. That's stupid. Or was it Doomsinger I got? I don't know. Doesn't matter. One of them. Okie dokie. This city map is possessed, mercifully, of a bloody great big exploitable blind spot, which is nice because I don't have anything that can blow up the towers. So, I'm going to come right over here to this corner. I'm going to put all the melee infantry back there like that. And I'll put my shooting infantry behind them like that. That's just to keep them out of the range of the tower that does overlap the blind spot. So the blind spot is out here. There's no towers out here. So what we can do is we deploy our army sort of in this corner. We put these ones back out of range of being shot at, like so. In fact, I might even need to move them back just a little bit further, just to be on the safe side. And then we attack. We come down here and just attack this gate, and that draws them all over this way. And then we can bring up the rest of our army around here if we need to. But we'll see how we go. So, Thorgrim's going to rush the gate. I'm going to get the engineer behind him to start shooting stuff on the walls, or for when the gate opens. And I'm going to say there. So those towers there, they can shoot, but they can only shoot until we're out of their arc, which is now. And as you can see, our stuff at the back is out of range. Well, not quite, actually. There's a little bit of an overlap there, which I don't like. So I'm just going to... No, you stupids. Yeah, thank you. No. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are we out of range now? Yeah, we're out of range now. Cool. Alright, so we'll just let the Gyros start to do their good work. Bring him over this way. Him I will put there. They built that tower yet? No, they haven't. Alright, so he should be safe enough coming over here for now. So, just to try and make sure I get as many of their archers dealt with as possible, and also watch out for them building towers. So I'm particularly watching out for the one that goes, I think it's there, and there's one that goes there. That's the one that, okay, they're building that one now. And I might actually get the Gyro Bomber over here and get him to start rinsing Skarsnik a bit. Because if I could kill Skarsnik or get him off the field early, that would be nice, because that will massively reduce their leadership. Oh, he's being shot at. That's no good. Come back. I don't actually want that unit shattered. I don't want them rallying. Cool, they're shattered. So now we'll start on that unit some more. Gyro Bomber's doing pretty good damage to Skarsnik there. That's good. And it's getting shot by that unit. That's alright. I'm going to get him over here to deal with that. Now, the regular gyrocopters only have 2 bombs. So, yeah, generally better to probably micromanage them a little bit more. Definitely micromanage your bombers more than I have been as well. As I said, mine's mainly just for the sake of time. Yeah, you can get much better value out of them than I have been. But yeah, there you go. Just as an example, those 2 bombs there just about broke 3 units. So yeah, you can get really, really good value out of the bombs, even though there's only 2 of them. But yeah, obviously the gyro bombers are insane for that, having 12 or 11 or whatever they've got. Cool, it's another unit of archers broken. Oh, like, why can't they fly over the wall? Because I accidentally had Thorgrim selected as well, and last time I checked, Thorgrim couldn't fly. Nerf, they would cry. And they'd be right. Dwarves with jetpacks. Let's go. Skarsnik's nearly dead. It's really helpful. That unit's running. That tower's been built. Let's get rid of that. Unbuild that. Pronto. Enemy lord is wounded. Fantastic. Gates. Not really taking a whole lot of damage, but it's only Thorgrim banging on it, so... Alright, let's speed that up. I'm waiting for the reinforcements still. Let's get that tower down, thank you. Alright, they built this one over here as well. Let's go and deal with that. You've got no bombs left, so you're going to come over here, and you're going to help deal with that. You are going to come over here and bomb that unit of archers. Where's the Gyro Bomber? There he is. Let's get him over there to deal with that. Make sure they don't come back again. Come on. Oh, the units split. They're running in two different directions. I hate when that happens. Okay, you're getting a little bit too shot for my tastes. Let's get you to get your bombs dropped and get out of here. So I've just put them into a square formation, and I'm just using the alt slide to just get them right where I want them before I drop those grenades, like that. Bombs rather, not grenades. What is a bomb if not a large grenade dropped from the air? I ask you. Whoop. Whoop. No, don't. Come back in. These trolls need to get killed faster, please. I don't really want to fight them. Alright, there's the enemy gate down. About goddamn time, too. Get the engineer up. Now, normally, running Thorgrim in like this, against like a whole bunch of nasty skulkers and stuff, would not be the ideal way of doing it. The ideal way of doing it, we would bring the rest of the army down, and use the quarrelers to shoot over the walls to soften up things like trolls and nasty skulkers and stuff, whilst the engineer shoots through the gate, and I would have the Rune Lord and the Thane be the ones that are in there tanking, on the basis that it doesn't really matter that they get if they get damaged, because probably going to have to dismiss them at some point anyway. But the addition of Deathsinger to Thorgrim's hand has, yeah, changed the plan there somewhat, because now he can regenerate and he can kill a whole bunch of stuff, and so I'd be stupid not to use him. So this unit's getting quite shot at, but as you can see, they haven't actually lost any models yet. They're still at 12. So I'm just going to use it to finish punching that tower down and get him back out of there. Alright, cool. Let's get him in through the front gate. Wonderful. Get those trolls dead, please. Restock that unit. Yep, not them shooting the trolls. Gyro Bomber can work on those nasty skulkers. You can just hang out for a little bit. I don't want you to get any more damage, and I might not need you. Alright, let's get the Gyro Bomber for a bit of a fly and drop some bombs. Form him back up into a 4. Good thing we didn't bring the infantry in. I forgot to check if they had fanatics, which they do. Those are those little like silver comet things you can see spinning around there. Kaboom! Gyro's all doing okay. Yep, everything's doing fine there. Let's restock that ammo again. Shoot the trolls, please. Might actually save the rest of those bombs for now, and what I might do is see if I can convince them to all bunch up on Thorgrim a bit more by getting him to start attacking that barrier. Well, that Thane can come in as well. That'll be handy. Alright, the trolls are coming in on the Rune Lord. That's good. Not necessarily good for the Rune Lord, but we want the trolls dead, so we can turn around and just start spraying them a little bit. Let's get you up there to help Thorgrim attack that barrier. I think that might be working. I think they're all sort of going to come in and try and stop them from breaking the barrier here. Restock the Gyro Bomber's ammo. You still good? Yeah, you're still good. You've already used your bombs. You have not used your bombs. Interesting. Interesting. Come on, shatter the trolls. There we go. Cool. Trolls are shattered. Then they come back. That's good. Oh, I don't really want that Rune Lord solo tanking all of that. That would not be great for his health. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not wasting bombs on a squig herd. They're too loosely formed up to do a whole lot of damage. Don't really mind if he gets a bit more damage than that. Yeah, nothing else hugely important here now to deal with, I don't think. Most of their real nasties have been taken out. Cool. Where'd my bomber go? There it is. So yeah, I could probably live without that other war boss quite comfortably. Let's see if we can do something about him. Alright, I think now might be a good time to move the rest of those in. Also to bring him back over the wall, because there shouldn't be a whole lot left that can damage him. Squeak herd, there it is. Who's still got bombs left? You do. Okay, so you're going to go there, ready to bomb that pack that the Runesmith's going to, or the Rune Lord rather, is going to gather up. How many restocks do I have left? 4. Cool. Where's my bomber? Do. Yeah, so the bomb doesn't really do a whole lot to the squig herd there, because they're in a very loose formation. You want them to be very tightly packed to be doing the old jar bombs. Kabloom! See, as you can see, where they were in combat there, that did quite a bit more. That Rune Lord's getting pretty low on health, that's okay. That barrier's down, that's good. Good. Cool, well that's broken off that Rune Lord. Let's back him out. Those two are doing a marvellous job of tanking there. Replenish the bomber's ammunition again. Turn around, spray him. Keep it up, lads. We're doing marvellously. Nearly done. Nearly done. That engineer's taking a bit of damage, but he's got a potion of toughness, so that's okay. Not the end of the world. Let's get you up the walls. Let's get you to come here, so we can chuck some grenades through there. Give the engineer some more armor there, just so he can take a little bit less damage while he's tanking. And replenish the ammo on them again. Gonna go and drop the Jar Bomber's last bomb over on this big cluster that these two have whistled up. The Quarrel is now firing on the combat there, so that's good, but they're firing through my gyros, so that's bad. So I'm going to move the gyros now. They're out of bombs, they're out of ammo. I do have some restocks left, but I'd rather use them on the gyrocopter, the gyro bomber rather than the gyrocopters. So I'll just get them out of the way. You need to move as well, please. And they need to come through here so they can start grenading. Anyway, 15 seconds until I can use another Rune of Wrath and Ruin, which I will drop on the melee around the engineer. Oh, nope, never mind, the melee around the engineer has broken. Forget what I just said. Last restock going in on the gyro bomber. Pop that with Thorgrim. Don't think this guy had any, no, he doesn't have any special abilities yet. Alright, I can sneak the engineer back in, not the engineer, the Rune Lord back in, and use him to Rune of Wrath and Ruin that melee instead. Nope, okay, no, never mind, that one's going to break as well. Like I was saying, they're all going to chicken out and run away before I can use that. Maybe master it. I might get rid of speed then. Make these guys a bit better in melee. It'll help them out against single characters. Let's get rid of those nasty stalkers, please. Don't need them giving my lords a headache. Okay, let's pull back this way a little bit, see if I can bring him into range of the miners. Let's get the rest of you, no, not you, just you and you. Let's get you inside. Kerblammy. I didn't realise I was going to throw that at a single entity. That was my bad, I wasn't paying attention. let's speed this up. We're nearly done. Bit of Wrath and Ruin over there. So yeah, as you can see with Dwarves, forcing things into narrow areas, choke points, anywhere that you can get a whole lot of value out of things like bombs, Rune of Wrath and Ruins, any of your ranged ammunition. Yeah, it's the way you want to do it. So you can take a whole city without coming in further than like the first barricades, like I've just done. So there you go. Minimal damage across the army. These two took an absolute pummeling, but that's okay. That's what they're there for. He took a little bit more damage than I'd like, but I can get him a bit of a heal there using that. And actually, come to think of it, now that he's got regen, I should swap that potion of healing to him and give this to one of them for the next battle. Didn't think of doing that beforehand. That was silly of me, wasn't it? I'll just wait until that heal ticks off. Yep, great. Done. Yeah, close victory because we use so much ammunition. And because the heroes are generally, and heroes and lords are given quite a high rating on that whole balance of power thing. So if you get heroes and characters, you know, damaged, use up all your ammo and stuff, use up all your magic. Not that dwarves have magic, but yeah, that will get you a close victory. But again, it doesn't actually change anything. So as far as I'm concerned, hey, nearly 300 kills on Thorgrim, 7 losses to our army. No sweat. Bam. 363 kills according to that. There you go, not bad. So we don't want to sack that, and we don't want to loot it, we just want to take it. That's a good city for us. And now we've got our second province by the end of turn 9. This is crazy, that gives a whole lot of money. That's got a gold mine, heaps of money. For now though, I am just going to stick growth in, because I want to get it up to tier 3 as soon as I can, so that I can start building some of the other stuff. Going to take Lightning Strike for dealing with Skaven next. But even if we don't deal with the Skaven next, even if we do end up fighting Greenskins, it's still useful for dealing with their wire mechanic, because you can split the secondary army off of the parent army and just deal with one at a time. And if you kill the parent army, the wire army just vanishes into thin air. You know, puff of smoke. Cool. Done, done, done. Take growth. Did I take growth? I don't think I actually clicked on one, did I? Alright, there's growth. Good here. Not going to swap that back over yet because I'm still recruiting there. Yep, another 3 gyros. That'll come in handy. You, who's most damaged out of you two? You. Okay, so you can take a bit of a break because I need some more income anyway, and you're not going to be much use to me in the next battle. And you can just chill here. Nothing there worth recruiting. Back over here, we want income from province, capital, and settlement buildings plus 15%. Hell yes, I do. Alright, nothing else I want to build here, I don't think. No, wait till next turn for that one. Yeah, cool. Quickly check diplomacy. Carrot Cadron will trade with us, thank you very much. Don't even need to join his war against the Bone Rattlers yet, which is good. In fact, joining war against the Bone Rattlers may not be the worst idea.
You are welcome here.
Because they're a bit far away and they'll have to come through Thorgrim, Ungrim to get at me. And then I've got another legendary opponent. So hopefully that will stop some idiot coming along and randomly declaring war on me. Hopefully. You never can tell. Cool, yeah, so end of turn 9, we've got 2 provinces. Army's in good shape. We've got some very powerful units already being recruited that we can add into the army, and we're in a good position to do just about whatever we want now. We've got a couple of hostile neighbours, so we're going to have to deal with Tretch Craventail, we're going to have to deal with Gorebad Ironclaw. But yeah, we've also got some friendly neighbours. We've got Ungrim Iron Fist, who we've already got, you know, getting good relations with. We've got a couple of other dwarf clans around. They're only minor factions, but that's okay. They can still be trade partners and stuff. And another turn went by without any random idiot declaring war on us. So that's good. That's real good. Yeah. I'm going to absolutely not be spending any Earth Gold anytime soon. I'll be saving it for some stuff. Alright, get him to do the attack. Yep, that's fine. Just roll his head off. Nope, he's going to survive and run away. Yeah, that's good. Hold on. Whatever. We just wanted to lift the siege so that Thorgrim can get the heck out of there and start moving back towards our territory. He can sit in there and guard that. That's fine. And we're going to bring him up to drop these gyrocopters into Thorgrim's army. 17, so I need to get rid of 3 more units. 1, 2, and 3. Easy. Boop. Done and done. And then I'm just going to kick them, don't need them. Goodbye. Frees up some money. And he's going to go there. And as you can see, we've now got an army that's almost half gyrocopter. You can actually push it to full gyrocopter if you want to, it's no worries. But I will probably just stick with this for the sake of time. So there you go. So I'm going to switch that back over to growth now because I want to be able to build that up next turn and I want it to be a bit cheaper. I could do it this turn, but I'm not going to because I want to save the money because I'm a bit of a cheapskate like that. And then probably what I'll do is bring him back over here and use him to start recruiting some more gyros. And Thorgrim is going to head out this way and I'm going to start getting stuck into Mount Silverspear and Clan Rictus, I think they're called. Yeah, Trench Craven Jail. Anyway, legendary Skaven guy. But I think I'll probably leave it for there for today because that's a very neat sort of 5 turns in an episode. So thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been helpful to you in some way. If you've got any feedback at all, please feel free to leave a comment. Or if you've got any requests for stuff that I could cover that might be helpful to you personally, please leave a comment. It's always nice to get inspiration from people that are watching. Yeah, thank you very much for your time, and I will see you next time. Cheers, folks.